the Hook, airing on offthehooksports.com, your home for real news, real opinions, and what really matters about Tennessee athletics. The Off the Hook podcast at offthehooksports.com or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or wherever you go for your favorite podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, iHeart. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Off the Hook with Dave Hooker starts now.
An absolutely huge show with Amanda LaFratta. I am Dave Hooker. Certainly appreciate it if you would stop, subscribe, and like the program right now, because we are with you every single day at 9 o'clock, and we're all on YouTube. So the more you subscribe, the more you listen, the more you like, all that good stuff, the more Tennessee content we can bring. And I'll go ahead and tease it forward on our YouTube page and on offthehooksports.com. Had a slight schedule adjustment, so we'll have a lot of stuff from Chris Landry today as we'll break down Tennessee's upcoming season, as it is media day on Sunday, so they're off and rolling. Good morning, Amanda LaFratta. How are you?
Good morning, Dave. I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Not as good as Zach Wilson. We'll have some comments from the Jets quarterback on being Cougarized. Also, Jacob Warren will join us for a bit. Look forward to that. Some John Adams as well from the Knoxville News Sentinel. So we are absolutely loaded for bear with a lot going on, and it definitely gets serious as of this weekend, as Tennessee will visit with the media. Tennessee will talk to all of the assembled scribes and TV people. Big questions to answer. I don't know that there's any monstrous question out there, to be real honest with you. Maybe Brew McCoy's suspension at Southern California carry over in some shape, form, or fashion. Maybe we'll know that. Hey, Zach, how are you? But I think if I'm if I'm Josh Heupel on Sunday, I'm probably going to try to address that and just get it out of the way so he's not asked about it constantly. But typically these things aren't a big news event, but I think Tennessee is excited to get up and rolling, and I know Tennessee fans are excited to get up and rolling as well. So Tennessee starts a little earlier than most. Amanda, if you could ask Josh Heupel any one question and he had to answer it honestly, what would it be?
How much NIL money has gone to the players so far? Because
Yeah,
I know you know. I
know. That's what I would ask too. I can't even think of a close second.
No,
I mean,
and it's not just.
I'd love to know the number.
Yeah, it's not just Heupel either. I think if it was any coach, except for Saban, I wouldn't ask Saban just because I don't want to die. But any coach, I would say. So how much NIL money you got rolling through so far?
Well, and specifically, wouldn't you want to know Nico? I mean,
not specifically him, because I think we already know.
I think we do, but I would like to see it confirmed. I think that would be pretty cool, just to have somebody say, yeah, it is. He is that $8 million quarterback. So Tennessee starts early because they play Ball State on a Thursday night game. So that's why they're practicing ahead of everyone. So good piece by Mark Nagy, longtime TV cat and media guy in the SEC and Tennessee, that we're going to go through in a little bit as far as some of the pressing questions for Tennessee. So a lot going on. And also, like I mentioned, John Adams, Jacob Warren, Zach Wilson on being Cougarized. Headlines brought to you by Honeybee Coffee. Honeybee is the best coffee base right there out of Knoxville. They've got a location in Sevierville, next to the mall out in Farragut. And also, the greatest part about Honeybee is you can order online with e-commerce. So Honeybee has the top 5% of the beans roasted and turned into the best coffee that you'll ever have. You'll go to that green place, be local, support local, and best of all, have the premier coffee that you can have. So headlines is now, as we get to headlines, what's happening in the wide world of sports. Let's start with something that I I mentioned this to you, Amanda, and I'm going to ask for a pat on the back. I told you specifically that Southern California and UCLA players, not all of them, but some of them would not like the Big Ten move because of the travel schedule.
I think
So,
we agreed on that.
yes. So you already have a situation in which I think that if I'm Tennessee, I'm taking note of, because I think you're going to have a lot of guys that are committed to Southern Cal and UCLA that might rethink this thing, even in that area. So, just a few days after overtaking Arch Manning for the top spot in ESPN's 2023 player recruiting rankings, 5-star USC commitment Malachi Nelson is taking a visit to Texas A&M. Now, he had been committed to Oklahoma, and I'm going to tell you how this actually could affect Tennessee, but I'll get there. So the young man had been committed, Malachi Nelson, to Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley left to go to Southern Cal. He immediately went. So that's the time frame of it. He's tied to Lincoln Riley, so we thought. Now that Southern California is going to have to spend a 4-hour plane trip to play most of its road games other than UCLA, you've got to wonder if some of these guys are rethinking it, and it sounds like Malachi Nelson is. Now, where it could affect Tennessee, if Malachi Nelson were to up and say, hey, I don't want to be in the ground and pound Big Ten. I don't want to play in Minnesota in December. I don't want to spend half of my college career on an airplane. And all of those are valid concerns. Good morning, Michael. All of those are valid concerns. Then I can tell you who Lincoln Riley is going to call first if Malachi Nelson goes to Texas A&M.
Nico.
That young man is Nico Iamaleava. Now, I have not spoken to Nico. I have zero idea if he would even entertain Southern California. I know he was interested before the Lincoln Riley move and the natural Malachi Nelson. But that move was huge in the college football landscape, okay? It is going to be like an aftershock of an impact in college football recruiting, Amanda. I don't think we can predict who all that is interested in UCLA or USC might end up bolting, but there's going to be more than a couple. I'll go ahead and tell you that.
So I have a few things on this. Let's just clear this up for Tennessee fans. I don't think Nico's going to go anywhere.
I don't either.
He is all in, all ball, 24/7. I mean, he's got his entire volleyball team. Apparently, they do that out there. His entire volleyball team dressed head to toe in Tennessee gear. I really think you're safe here. Like, you're
I
safe.
agree.
He's not going to go to USC. Second of all, this whole transfer portal, NIL stuff has people going every which way. I mean, really. And Tennessee fans need to be mindful of the fact that if someone commits to a school, you don't go on message boards, you don't go on Twitter, you don't go on Facebook and rip them. Because as you can see, this kid's taking a visit to Texas A&M. There's a Notre Dame 5-star commit who's taken a visit to Alabama. There's another one who's taken a visit to Georgia. I mean, it's just, you never know. These are kids. Everybody has to remember that these are kids. Bottom line, they can change their mind at a drop of a hat. So whenever a kid commits somewhere, don't go crazy and get on the message boards or the Twitter or whatever you do and just rip the kid a new one, because it's likely that kid is probably going to change his mind, especially in the college football realm that we're doing. As far as the Big Ten is concerned with the USC and the UCLA, there's going to be so many kids leaving. Peace out. I thought I was playing Oregon. I thought I was playing Washington State. Now I'm going to play Michigan and Ohio State and Wisconsin and Iowa. No, thank you. I'm not going over there to play in the cold. I'm going to head down south where it's at least fairly decently warm for the majority of the season.
Yeah, Amanda, you look at the evolution of college football, and wow, Amanda, am blown away that people just now expect commitments to be commitments in June. That to me, getting back into the college football world really surprises me that, we always used to say in September, commitments are non-binding. They're non-binding now. I mean, to think that it's just going to be status quo is a little obscene. So
I mean, it
go
definitely
ahead.
is. You have these, people do this whole like, oh, we're number one in the SEC recruiting class for 2023. Oh, we're this, oh, we're that. And it happens every year. You're there until like a week before signing day and signing day. And then signing day, Ohio State takes over at number one. Alabama takes over at number one. Georgia takes over at number one. At the end of the day, until those kids are on the dotted line, sign their name, letter of intent, don't count them. Just don't. I don't understand why recruiting's so insane to people.
Yeah, and I said the same thing with Wilkie Denard. I mean, listen, Wilkie Denard can be committed, and he can say he's committed to Auburn all day long. But ultimately, what's going to happen if, Amanda, if Brian Hartson gets fired in 5 games, which could happen. So, yeah, I'm befuddled when I kind of come back and get involved in college football recruiting again, that people just consider these to be commitments. Yasid Haynes, a 3-star receiver who recently decommitted from Penn State, announced a commitment to play in the SEC. He committed to Georgia. Now, see, this is a reminder to Tennessee fans, too. Georgia picked up a 3-star prospect. So they think he's good enough. So just because you get a 3-star prospect doesn't mean he's not good enough to play for your program, Amanda.
No, and like I said, I went through a whole list of 3-star prospects in the NFL today. Josh Jacobs, Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers, all 3 of those were three stars. And then if you look at the first team All-American kids from last year, I think it's 54% of those are 3 stars. So this recruiting rating, you can have a 5-star that just bombs in college, who doesn't have the work ethic, who doesn't want to, doesn't have the school spirit, doesn't have whatever. And you have these 3-star kids that have a chip on their shoulder come in and change the game. So.
Yeah, true. And then Tom Brady and Julio Jones, a former Alabama receiver, are already throwing touchdown passes to one another. Has a video of them surfaced where they are working out, and Julio Jones is going to help Tom Brady win another title. And it is just bizarre. How long can this guy continue to play? I'm 48 years old, and this morning I feel like my shoulder from my elbow today, it's different. My elbow is about to fall off from going to the gym yesterday. So I'm in the ballpark range of him. I mean, kind of, sort of. I mean, how in the world? I literally was at the gym yesterday thinking, man, I'm sore. I've got to figure out that band stuff that Tom Brady does, because that's his workout. Did you know that? All of his resistance training is bands, like the big rubber band. I'm like, how do I get the bands? So
Amazon?
he has like really specific bands, I think.
I don't know. I think the ones on Amazon will work just fine. Okay. I think you'll be good with those.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get to well, you might want to involve it. You might want to be somewhat involved. Today's tough question around this. So I don't know, and this is Amanda's jam. Okay, so Amanda decides today's tough question every day.
I do.
I tweak a little. So Zach Wilson, the Jets quarterback, asked about the off-season social media chatter that had him having relations with one of his mom's good friends.
How did you kind of handle these last few weeks of all the social media stuff that you've had to deal with?
Right, it's just focusing on football, and that's really all I can do is, it is what it is, and I'm excited to be here with the boys and excited to be in Idaho with those guys at the time too, and so I'm excited to just try and get better every single day. That's all I've been focusing on. It comes with the position, so really, it's just handling my business, handling what matters, and keeping my family tight, and we're all good. And so I'm excited to be here and really.
Yeah, well, the family unit seems to be doing quite well, despite the fact that maybe there's a new aunt in the crew, and it comes with being a Jets quarterback and all
It comes
the
with
things
the position.
yeah, and all the things that I didn't know that you got targeted by your wife's or your mom's friends as a New York Jet quarterback. Maybe we could ask Joe Namath about that. But just the whole thing was incredibly awkward. And the poor kid, if you're not watching on video, looks like he's about 12 years old. I mean, I didn't realize he looked that young.
Yeah.
Not that young, but he does look like he just stepped out of NSYNC. And
It looks like a Cabbage Patch doll.
Yeah, he does have the smushy face a little bit, but he's just got this goofy grin of, yeah, I'm up here, I'm the Jets quarterback, I'm answering questions about relations with my mom's best friend. Just the whole concept is so bizarre, and how that would become public. The society that we live in is absolutely goofy. So go ahead, and if you want to give us some feedback, have you ever been cougared, or do you know anybody that's cougared? You can send us a message. So today's tough question, Amanda, as we move on from Zach Wilson, is brought to you by City Heat and Air. City Heating and Air Conditioning, over 50 years, and they're not the ones that are going to say, hey, we've got this service call that is just $29 and then upcharge you. They are all about integrity and honesty, and that's the difference. So Amanda, what is today's tough question? What do we got rolling here today?
So let's stick to the Zach Wilson thing, but I want to say, what is the best lesson you can learn from the Zach Wilson fiasco? And it would be one, don't date a vindictive girl. Because that's where this all came from, is the girlfriend.
How did this? I was going to stop you.
The girlfriend.
Just reset it for me. How did this come out in the first place?
So the girlfriend, the ex-girlfriend, I guess, she started dating his college roommate and best friend, and people are giving her crap on it. So she came out and was like, well, if he didn't sleep with his mom's best friend, and it was like, what? On Instagram. So just don't air out, don't date girls that will air out your dirty laundry. Don't. There is a thing called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's a graph. It is hot and it is psycho. And you have to date a girl that rides that line. She can't be more psychotic than she is hot. That's the rule.
Okay. Well, no, I agree with that, but all the hot ones are psychotic. So most of them. So what's the question?
It's going to say, what's the best lesson to learn from the Zach Wilson thing? And it's don't date a psycho. They'll air out your dirty laundry. If you're a quarterback, you can date your mom's best friend. Let's see. If you
can or you shouldn't.
I don't know. It's up to you, but you can if you want to, or maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of lessons to be learned from the Zach Wilson thing.
I'm going to leave this one. I'm not even tweaking. I'm leaving this completely up to you.
Don't go to a Mormon college. I mean, there's a lot of things here.
Yeah. It is kind of ironic that with all the strict rules they have at BYU, it turns out to be a BYU quarterback who's at the center of Cougar Gate. Quick bites, they've got them right there at Big Orange Phillies. Big Orange Phillies knows it's tough to get out of the office for a long lunch. They're good at getting you quality food fast. Stale is not a part of what Big Orange Phillies does. Casual shouldn't mean stale, and it doesn't. Stay a while with darts, billiards, live entertainment, and karaoke. They've always got something going on. I know they had their 50-cent wing day just a couple of days ago. And you will love Big Orange Phillies. It's right there in the middle of Halls, downtown Halls, close to Maynardville and North Knoxville. Easy, and it's a family fun environment. It's awesome. Tennessee Junior, Texas Hot Crazy Matrix. I have no idea what that means. Does that just mean that Zach Wilson is a hot?
True.
That Zach Wilson is a hot crazy matrix?
No, there's a hot crazy matrix. That's what he's talking about. Is you have a hot and a crazy, and you have to find a girl that is not crazier than she is hot. Because like Amber Heard is a great example. Don't date Amber Heard.
If I were single, I would. If I were single, I would totally date Amber Heard because of the insanity more than actually the looks. Yes, but I find her fascinating. I don't think you and I have had this discussion. I find her comedic timing fantastic. She could look like just a regular Joe, and I would want to hang out with her.
Do you know who Amber Heard is? Because I feel like maybe you don't.
Maybe not. Craft treats, full spectrum CBD treats that contain minor cannabinoids. They increase the benefits of CBD. I think I do. They increase the benefits of CBD. Great for situational anxiety for your pet, things like storm anxiety, car ride anxiety. It's all right there. So Craft Treats, go to crafttreats.com and you will be taken care of. Yeah, I think I know. She's like the really quirky girl, right?
No, that's Anna Kendrick.
I think I'm talking about Amanda Heard. I'll tell you after this. Back in 2 minutes.
There's no Amanda Heard. There's a Amber Heard.
Amber Heard, yes. Yeah. Oh, no, she's the Johnny Matrix. No, is she the Johnny Depp
Depp girl, yes.
Oh, not her. Not her.
She's not funny at all. She's
the funny, short-haired brunette. That is
Anna Kendrick.
I don't think that's it. Stay tuned. Back in 2 minutes with a full breakdown of the questions entering Tennessee camp, which is just 3 days away. This is Off the Hook Sports.
Gary Viles here. I want to personally invite you to North Knoxville's newest sports bar and restaurant. It's Big Orange Phillies, located in Black Oak Center. And yes, folks, it's happening in Halls. Big Orange Phillies offers family-friendly environment with homemade meals and the best deli-style subs around. Billiards, darts, jukebox, shuffleboard, and cornhole, and a full bar. We also offer valet parking on weekends and during special events. We even have a covered back patio. It's happening at Big Orange Phillies. We want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare.
This is Al's Nest Barbecue Supply, so come on in and see all the different rubs and sauces we have, plus a complete line of Green Mountain grills. Don't be overwhelmed. We have plenty of help so you can produce the best barbecue and amaze your family and friends. Barbecue is America's food. We'll do what we can to bring you all the best products. We're Al's Nest Barbecue, where Chattanooga goes to grill.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero Turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Vassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Vassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
Aubrey Plaza. That's who is incredibly quirky and I just find very intriguing. So I was way off.
Oh, that's very weird.
Why is that weird? She's done a couple of the Conan and shows like that, and
she's my doppelganger.
Oh, okay. She's because you all look alike. I guess you do look alike a little bit now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who I get. all the time.
Yeah, she to me is just really quirky and funny. So I find her, but you're not quirky. You're more straightforward, sassy, and opinionated. There's a big difference.
It's just physical looks,
Oh,
not
okay.
the Kaylee Cuoco is who I get like a lot, and I don't look, I think, anything like her, but apparently we have the same like expressions and all of this stuff. So everyone in my family is like, Kaylee Cuoco, you look just like her, you act just like her. I don't know. We have the same like, we just make the same faces, I guess. I don't know.
It never fails. I can't go out of my house without getting does anybody ever tell you you look like Brad Pitt? I get that all the time.
I'm not going to bring up the thing that somebody said on Twitter. I'm not going to do it. I'll let you have that.
That I look like what's her name? Rapinoe?
Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah. Yeah, Megan Rapinoe. Pettigo, Chattanooga, locally owned store where you'll be treated like family. The region's foremost electric bike experts. They put their hearts into helping you find the perfect electric bike, and they are fun. Hello, fun. You'll be off and rolling with the pedal assist, and I like the thrust button in particular. So today's tough question. They've got the thrust button where you can it's like a boost button, and man, you're off and rolling. You got to get you down here. I know you've got a festival down here that you're going to be a part of, so we'll pedigo this thing up. But today's tough question. Reset that. Where are we?
We are, what's the best lesson you can learn from Zach Wilson? And that is, don't date crazy, don't date mom's friends, don't go to BYU, or is there something else that you could learn from that?
I don't know what else you could learn from that. It's good to be a good-looking New York Jets quarterback. How about that?
It's out there already.
The question is, all right, so what are we getting so far?
Well, I just put it out there. So
okay. So what do you think it will be?
Well, I mean, there's a vote. It's don't date crazy is number 1.
Don't date crazy.
Yeah, like the girl.
How do you know crazy until you get to know them?
Well, you friend zone them for a while, and then you figure out if they're crazy.
Okay.
They'll let you know. There are things that women do, and they will let you know that they're crazy. If you think she is perfect, if you don't see her, if she is understanding, if she is caring, if she is loving, she is lying to you. She's lying.
All right. That relationship analysis is brought to you by our friends at Zool Beer Company. So Zool Beer Company, if you date cray-cray and you need a little help managing that, Zool Beer Company has award-winning craft beers and a panoramic view of downtown Knoxville. A great place to hang out. That is Zool Beer Company. All right. So be sure that you hit that subscribe button and that you like us, because we're going to be talking Tennessee and SEC athletics throughout the fall. So let's turn to Tennessee, who opens camp on Sunday. Mark Nagy, who was scheduled to join us, was not able to, but a great column on Saturday down south. And let's start with his 10 critical questions heading into the 2022 camp. Okay, so I'm going to throw these at you, and you just give me an idea of where you think Tennessee will be. Will Tennessee finally get a win over one of the big 3? Tennessee had a record of recent futility against its 3 biggest rivals. That's Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. So I will go ahead and go on record that I think we would all agree they're not beating Alabama or Georgia this year, barring an incredible upset. Were you saying, you think maybe Georgia?
If they're going to beat anybody, and I know that Roman Harper said that he feels like it's the scariest game for Alabama, which I feel exactly the same way. But if they're going to beat anybody, I know they're going to beat Florida. I already wrote that as a win. But this Georgia team is depleted. I mean, they are on defense completely depleted. I don't know if anybody's done any research, but they are unwell on defense this season. So, I mean, you're going to have to see if Kirby Smart has, the depth in this to stay in it. But if he doesn't, I don't see them shutting down Hendon Hooker and Cedric Tillman. I just don't see that happening. So,
by the way, Chris says you're absolutely stunning. Nevertheless,
yes, you are, Dave. Yes, you are.
What? Yes, I am.
You are stunning. Yes, you are stunning.
But Chris also is saying that you went to college with Roman Harper. You didn't go to college with Roman Harper. Not
Yes,
at the same time.
Yes,
He's older. Really? Mm-hmm. He looks way older than you. Okay, so I think Tennessee has a chance of beating Florida. That would not surprise me. Who will be the backup quarterback? I think we think naturally it would be Joe Milton, but Tavon Jackson has yet to play in a college football game, so we don't really know what to expect. I think Joe Milton's the backup, and quite frankly, I think the kid deserves a second, third chance. I know he jumped out of bounds at Ole Miss. I know he wasn't the starter to start the season, but he has an awful lot of athletic ability, and I know they like him a lot. There are some guys that just don't convey to games what they do in practice. That just happens, and he may be one of those guys. If I had a bet on it, I'd say he is.
Well, Josh Dobbs was the opposite, if you remember that.
Yeah. Everybody told me he was not a good practice player, and
but in games.
And T. Martin was not a fantastic practice player, and so that's another one just to throw out there. But I think it'll be Joe Milton. I mean, I haven't seen enough of Tavon Jackson to really go ahead and make that call, but I think it's Joe Milton. And I say that just simply because the Tennessee coaches, Amanda, thought he was good enough to start the season. So they think they thought at least he's right there with Hendon Hooker. So that's their impressions. Whether or not they're right is another debate.
I think last season, Joe Milton kind of made it known why, he left Michigan. I think I don't think he's great. And the reason why is I don't think that he's quick on his feet, as in thinking about, situations and things and really reading a defense or if a play breaks up, I don't feel like he can overcome that.
I don't think he's quick on his feet. As a matter of fact, I don't think he actually takes in a play and is able to decipher it quickly, which is exactly what you're saying. So, but I don't know what to expect out of Tavon Jackson. So I would ask this: if Hendon Hooker turned an ankle and everything's fine, and he had to go to the sidelines in the very first drive of the Ball State game, who's running out there first? I believe it would be Joe Milton. I don't think there's any question about it.
At the beginning of the season, I could see that, but. Right. If you
could Joe Milton could go out there and struggle, and then you turn to Tavon Jackson.
Yeah, agreed. If you have, say, and God forbid, so don't put that evil out there, but say something happened with Hendon Hooker, and you had a week to prepare, I think you would see Jackson over Milton in the next game.
I could see that. Will the Vols defense establish depth? Boy, that's the $1 million question. The junior college players will certainly help. You wrote about one that is on offthehooksports.com. Defensive backs aplenty that can step in from a junior college and a transfer perspective. And that's and that's the young man you wrote about, Andre Turrentine, which is on the website now. And there's another defensive back transfer that's coming up later today. So if they establish depth, it's most likely going to be through the transfer portal and junior college with D. Williams. Okay, who will be Cedric Tillman's wingman? That's a great question. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's probably a group of guys now that you don't have Velus Jones. But who will be Cedric Tillman's wingman? Amanda, I don't know. I don't know at this point. He might have 3 Robins.
I mean, he might, but Cedric Tillman is... And I know people are going to say something about, it's overstated, but he seems like an AJ Green type of player to me, honestly. I mean, and in real life, he is massive. Like, y'all don't even understand. Like, he has huge hands. His hands are huge. And he's a playmaker, hands down. If Hendon Hooker can get him the ball, if he can throw it on target, then I believe Cedric Tillman's just going to rock the world. And back on the Georgia thing, I'm just going to come back to that. Who would you rather take, Hendon Hooker or Stetson Bennett?
Oh, Hendon Hooker.
Okay, so if Georgia's defense is flat, you're looking at the offensive side of the ball. That's why I feel like Tennessee could pull that upset.
Yeah, I feel like it's a matter of time until we discover that Stetson Bennett's related to Trent Dilfer in some shape, form, or fashion. And will Jeremy Banks lead the balls and tackles again? Probably. Who gets the most rushes? That's a really, really good question. I think it's going to be Jabari Small. Who replaces Alontae Taylor? I think it's one of those junior college guys, maybe D. Williams, who replaces Caden Mays at right tackle. That's remains to be seen. Yeah, Jeremiah Crawford is a possibility. Got 31 snaps in the Music City Bowl at right tackle, according to our friend Mark Nagian. Will Heupel give anyone bulletin board material? He doesn't seem like that type of coach to me. The addition I would add to this is, will Tennessee have a competent four-minute offense? I know I harp on that. Amanda hears it every day, but a lot of the listeners don't. But it is just a fact. And this too. So there we go. Those are some of your questions heading into preseason camp. But Chris thinks Amanda's absolutely stunning. And Chris says about me, if Barney Fife and Megan Rapinoe had an old man kid, that would be Dave Hooker. I don't look like Barney Fife.
I don't feel like you look like Barney Fife. Wait,
I don't look like Megan Rapinoe either.
There's some semblance there. She must be psychotic if all the hot ones are psychotic. Thank you very much. And yes, you're correct. I am psychotic. Yep. But I told David that going into it. I said, I'm a psycho. Know that? And he said, all right, I'll take it. I said, okay.
I don't think you're a psycho. I think you like to say you're a psycho. The Mattress Place, 22 years on Chapman Highway, Marine Corps veteran owned. They are an A+ accredited member of the Better Business Bureau, over 225 5-star reviews on the Google. Huge selection of two-sided flippable mattresses like the old days. You have twice the life and no gimmicks, just 30 to 70% off each and every day. Oh man, Trevor's saying that he sees the Barney Fife look.
I don't see it. I don't
see it at all.
This is
quite a blow to the ego today, guys. Thanks a lot.
The Megan Rapinoe, I see a little bit, but I mean,
Megan Rapinoe, you see Megan?
She could be a cute girl.
Well, I don't want to be a cute girl.
Well, she looks like a
That's
dude.
Not my goal. That's not my goal, is to be a cute girl. How did you help yourself there?
You could be.
You just made it worse.
No, you could be a Victoria's Secret spokesperson. There you go. That's what she is now, apparently.
I could do absolutely none of those things.
She's not unattractive, is what I'm saying. She's not unattractive. You could look like, they could tell you look like somebody extremely ugly. Megan Rapinoe is not unattractive.
It's got some intriguing politics. Back in just 2 minutes. Man. Barney is the man, Trevor says. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate that. Glad that we can bring you this content each and every day so I can be called Barney Fife. Back in 2 minutes off the Hook Sports.
It's Gary Viles here, Viles Automotive on Callahan Drive. I've been selling cars here in East Tennessee for 27 years. In that time, I've come to realize it's not about the car. It's about you, the customer. So I'm here to take care of you just like family. Good credit, bad credit, you name it, we can get you taken care of. If we don't have it, we can find it for you. We go across the country to get any vehicle that you want. And here at Viles Automotive, we don't believe in fake numbers. We just give you great deals. And as always, we want, we need, and we appreciate your business.
Do you want to own the more that owns every job? Then get to Vassey Lawn and Garden in Cleveland and get you a Toro. I'm David Vassey, here to talk to you about Toro. With a Toro Zero turn, you'll get more out of every minute and you'll reach the finish line faster. At Bassey's, we like to say, no matter if you're mowing 3 acres a week or 11 lawns a day, homeowners and business owners alike find confidence in equipment they can trust from top to bottom.
Bassey Lawn and Garden, Highway 60 North in Cleveland.
Man alive, it's worth the drive.
This is Steve Rain. I own the Midnight Oil and Michelin Tire Direct service station here in Ottawa. It's not a fancy place, never has been, but it's a clean place with clean restrooms and good folks who work here. We sell gas and fix cars, nothing glamorous, but we love what we do and we're going to keep doing it for a long time to come. There's not many real service stations left, and that's a shame. We're the guys just like the guys back in your hometown. We'll fix your tire, change your oil, and put a new set of Michelins on your car. If you want a Twinkie, you'll just have to keep on going. Thanks for the business.
Hi, Mike Davis here with City Heating and Air, reminding you to always dare to compare. Our team provides quality local heating and air service, installation, and maintenance across East Tennessee. We use only the best equipment like American Standard heating and air conditioning for your residential, new construction, or commercial needs. Honesty, dependability, and customer satisfaction have been the cornerstones of our business since 1961. City Heat and Air.
Dare to compare. I do not look like Barney Fife. Just leaving it right there. He said at least it wasn't an Otis comparison. It probably could have been not that long ago. Yeah, so I'm getting, what a kick in the you-know-where. Yeah, I kind of see the Barney look. I do not look like Barney Five. I'm sorry, I don't. That's the new poll question. Let's just replay. Where's the other? Where's today's tough question? Where is that?
So, today's tough question is they're actually kind of the don't date psycho is leading. It's leading, but not by much. I mean, it's pretty split, like everywhere. I'm not gonna lie.
Psychos are fun.
Okay.
So can we replace? Can we replace this with Dave? Do you have a picture of me? So you have a picture. You take a picture every day so that we can do the video overlay to post on offthehooksports.com. So you're supposed to picture me and said Dave looks like Barney Fife, Megan Rapinoe, both or neither. And let's see where this goes.
You want me to reset the tough question for that?
Yes, I want to salvage this because I'm hurt.
Okay, well, I feel like you're not going to be able to salvage. I think it's going to hurt. I think we're just
I
going to
don't look like Barney Fife.
I'm just going to stick with the tough question for today.
I look more like Matlock than Barney Fife. Andy Griffith.
For today, we're going to stick with the tough question that we have. Let's think on it over the weekend, and then we'll come back to it.
I think we should change it.
I think we should think on it, and then we'll come back to it.
Because you think that people are going to say I look like Barney Fife.
I'm not
You have
saying
never
that.
looked at me and thought I look like Barney Fife.
No, I don't think that you look like Barney Fife, but I feel like a lot of people are going to say Megan Rapinoe, and that's going to hurt you.
That doesn't hurt me.
I feel like maybe we should wait. Let's do a think. Let's think it over. And on Monday, if we're still feeling it, then we'll put it out there. But let's just wait on that. Let's just pump the brakes. We'll wait on that for a moment, okay?
Okay. Owl's Nest Barbecue is the place that you need to go for your pellets, for your smoker. How about those wood chips, and how about the best rubs and sauces in the biz? It's right there in Ottawa. So if you find yourself ever in the area, that's the place to go. Owl's Nest Barbecue. And tough question, is Megan attractive?
That's true. We could do that.
I think somebody that athletic is attractive, barring their face hitting the ugly stick on the ugly tree all the way down.
So you find
falling
Brittany
out
Griner,
of the tree or whatever. What's that?
Brittany Griner is attractive to you?
I
Brittany
don't.
Griner?
No, I mean I don't particularly. Now this is just turns into Dave being mean if you start asking me one after.
Well, Well,
I mean,
I'm
I
just
don't
saying.
want any part of that.
Okay, then let's
You-
just
Okay,
leave
then
it.
I find her as an attractive person given that she has achieved elite status. And I'm not trying to like sidestep the question, I promise. Trevor says I look like a young James Woods. There you go. Reset today's tough question. I'm asserting executive power. I want it to be Megan Rapinoe, Barney Fife, or a young James Woods.
I want to have a show on Monday, so I would like to not do this.
We will have a show.
I'm going to have to pull you out of like a deep depression, and I don't want to do that. So if we can just wait.
By the way,
let's have a think.
No, go ahead and put it up there. I'm ready. I feel good about it. So we're going to have here. Go ahead and put it up there because we're going to have Coach. We're going
Calm down, Barney.
No, hey. So we're going to have.
That was good.
That was mean.
That was good.
So we're going to have Coach Lance on, who does a great job. We're going to play message board bingo, but it also gives us the opportunity for him to tell me if I look like a young James Woods or a Barney Fife. I can take a young James Woods. You probably don't even know who James Woods is, do you, Amanda?
Yes, I do. I do know who James Woods is. I actually follow him on Twitter.
Is he an interesting Twitter follower? That's just good and bad. All right. So coming up, message board bingo. Who are the most insane fans in the SEC? But first, I'll tell you what we want to get to. We want to get to a conversation we had with Jacob Warren. So you remember last week that there was a Texas A&M player who, I don't know, he maybe got caught with a gun and all that stuff. So Jacob Warren talked about that with us and how he would handle discipline if it were on his team. And here is Jacob Warren, Tennessee tight end. So is that something that's addressed among teammates when somebody gets in trouble around just their personal group of friends? Or is that something where a leader of the team could stand up and say, hey, you're hurting the whole team, don't get in trouble? How are things like that addressed within the framework of a team?
I think it's pretty well understood that everyone understands that that's definitely not something that should be happening and something that you would like to avoid, right? So when something like that happens, I think it's appropriate for, the coach to address it to the team. Be like, guys, like, I know, like, everything you've heard, like, whatever, whether it's true, whether it's not true, and just kind of put it all out there and kind of, I guess some things are just kind of hard to talk about until someone just puts it out there in the open. And then once it's out there, it's like, oh, well, I guess, we're talking about it. And so now you start to talk about, other things that people may be struggling with or just trying to encourage guys to, if they feel like they've got to do this, do that, or if they are doing the same thing that the kid had got caught with, like, please stop doing it, right? Like, this is like, as someone that I'm not on his team, right? So this is what Coach Heupel per se would be saying to us, or with the conversations we would have. But I guess if the kid's on your team, I mean, you just kind of have to surround him. I mean, obviously he's still a teammate, he's still a brother, like he's still.
Yep, he is. He is a teammate and a brother. I still think, though, that what Amanda said yesterday was absolutely correct, and that is, if you're part of a teammate, it's not time to be hugged and brought back into the fold. It's time to be like, hey, what in the world have you been doing? Midnight Oil, a great place to get your car worked on, right next to Owl's Nest Barbecue. And we bring in Coach Lance here momentarily as we'll get his thoughts. So today's tough question changed. Does Dave Hooker look more like Megan Rapinoe? Does he look more like Barney Fife or a young James Woods?
Or is this a terrible idea?
This is a great idea. As our guy joins us now, Coach Lance, and you've probably seen this guy. Yeah, he's all ball. He's shaking the shaker. He's got
let's go
hashtag Lance. Is it? Let's say Lance Dance.
Lance Dance.
Oh, like the Jordan thing. Yeah. I
Yes,
like
sir.
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that's-
essentially took the dab and just stole it and called it the Lance Dance.
Right. So you may have seen Coach Lance on the Twitter, and we find him to be incredibly entertaining. So we wanted to get him on to play Message Board Bingo, which is sweeping the nation, and we just started it yesterday. So that's the amazing part about Message Board Bingo. It's like COVID on steroids. So
I'm familiar with steroids, so that sounds good.
Coach Lance knows his steroids. Is your team more of a D-ball type of group or an HGH type of group?
Me?
Yes, your team. Your team. Are
My
they
team.
more on D-ball? Do they like the D-ball, the old school 90s steroids, or are they more HGH, move forward, Barry Bonds?
No, we're old school 90s. Yeah, it's like, have you seen the movie The Program?
Yes,
that's how I run my middle school football team. Very similar. At Chattahoochee Middle School, the Fighting Beavers. That's where I've been coaching. I'm 150-0, Dave. You know this already.
I'm aware. What do you think Josh Heupel's going to tell us at Media Day on Sunday?
Well, I think I've been hanging around the school a little bit and the practice.
Sure you have.
Because I am a
Yes.
special assistant to the football team.
Yes.
You may not know that, but they may not know that, but I am. And so I've been hanging around, and I tell you what, Dave, we're going to score 130 points a game. I'm not kidding. It is. Hooker has already thrown Hendon has already thrown like 70 touchdown passes to Cedric Tillman so far. So
Yes.
This season.
Right,
Yes.
this season.
Yeah.
Which hasn't even started.
yeah, no, just them hanging out on the practice field. They've been getting it done. I've been watching them. Yeah, I've been showing them a couple things too.
I don't doubt it. Message board bingo is now. So I'm sure you're aware of this, Coach Lance. If you're not yet, there's all kinds of fun things when you do live streaming and podcast on the World Wide Web. And one of those is the fact that you can actually, as we have done at Off the Hook Sports, paid for music like Led Zeppelin, all the copyrights, but we haven't been able to get YouTube to understand that. So we have to go with their non-copyrighted music, which frankly, I think Coach Lance makes the bit better. So we randomly select this music, and I will go ahead and get your okay on this. Usually Amanda okays it, but just your thoughts on this as a music bed to message board bingo. I'll pick one at random. Here we go.
Don't do it. I can't do this today.
That's not the.
I'm feeling good.
What are those little noises in the background? It's like, week, week. I'm like, what? No. Be done. This is done. This is done.
Can I try one more? Can I try one more?
I feel like we're at a hookah lounge. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just got like a glass of scotch and a hookah. All right. This is somehow worse. I mean, Coach Lance, we paid for the music. It's like you paying for a player and he doesn't actually produce.
Sounds like a scary movie.
It is like that. Yeah, I don't pay my players.
Okay, last chance. I
We're
think
gonna
that's
disco.
okay. Let's do message board
Or
bingo.
It's good. It's a little aggressive. I like it.
Yeah, let's do message board bingo right now with totally. Coach Lance is jumping around. If you're watching on TV,
I'm ready.
So let's go ahead and do it right now. We're going to do message board bingo and keep score, Amanda, because
I'm gonna keep score.
yeah, we want to find out who wins, and I've got to find it. You just go ahead and go. So read the first one.
I don't know if I can during this mess. Okay, so you just, Coach Lance, do you know how this works? You just
I do not,
pick
Amanda. I'm excited though.
So these are actual posts from people on message boards, different fan bases. throughout college football. I will read the message, then you go and you tell us what fan base you think this came from. Okay?
Oh, that's good. Oh, this is good. You guys come up with this? This is brilliant. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yes,
Okay.
Sweeping the Nation came up with it yesterday. Message board bingo. So as you may or may not know, Coach Lance, some of the posts on message boards are a little off base.
I've heard about that. I don't do message boards myself. I just do the tweets. But I know I made some Missouri fans mad yesterday. They are soft. Let me tell you what. But anyways, go ahead. I'm ready.
It's very true. That Elijah Drinkwitz, biggest goober, hands down.
He won. Yeah. He won that poll.
That was a good poll.
It's a hot.
He looks like a dentist.
Hot win.
He looks like a dentist who didn't quite make it through school, and he's just picking up odd jobs.
Yeah,
that's what he looks like.
He can only fill cavities. That's the only thing he's allowed to do.
No
root canals, no crowns, just cavities.
He's the guy who says, "I can do the cleaning, but the real doctor will be in here in a second."
Oh my gosh, that's a dental hygienist.
Oh, that's so mean. I feel bad.
I feel bad for dental hygienists.
I feel bad that I even said that. Like I'm a terrible person.
Calm down, Megan.
No remorse.
All right, Megan, we got to get to this.
Megan. Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right. So this is about Jimbo Fisher. He's selling A&M. That's pretty much a used hatchback that insists on being called an SUV.
Who said that?
Which fan base?
Okay, I'll go first, and it's the first of three, Coach Lance. So I'm going to say Alabama.
Three?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. What if I was also thinking Alabama?
You both are correct.
Okay. So it's 1-1. All right.
That's the first one Dave's ever gotten.
Yes.
Congratulations. Okay.
Chris says, pull a photo of Don Knotts and Megan Rapinoe. If you overlay them, you have a dead-on picture of Dave. Sorry, man, not trying to throw shade at you. That's exactly what you did, Chris.
I need your Photoshop skills, Chris. Okay.
No, if you put that together, I'll never forgive you. Okay, so, all right. Next one.
All right.
Bingo.
I would bet my house that we win 9 or 10 games this year. To be honest, we should expect that or better each year. Any season short of that is a disaster.
Do you want to go first this time, Coach Lance?
No, I want you to go first.
I'm going to go Tennessee.
Okay.
That sounds like a Tennessee fan, 100%. I'm also going Tennessee.
No. That would be Auburn.
Oh my gosh, you'll be lucky to win 5 games this year.
I'm dying. I am dying on that. Okay, yeah. So you both got that wrong.
So it's 1-1.
It's 1-1.
The next one takes the lead. Are we playing to 3 or is this a best of 3?
We can do whichever one. I don't care.
Okay, we're playing to 3. All right, let's do a couple more here because I feel like there's a comeback happening.
We'll see.
This, according to Chris, not a knock on Dobbs, but at times he had the entire middle of the field wide open. Random knock on Dobbs. I love how Chris starts every comment with not a shot, but you look like Barney Fife. I mean, come on. You can't.
He's trying to not, he's not being offensive. He's just telling you what's on his mind. Leave him alone.
He's like, look, I don't mean to insult you, but I'm going to insult you now.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's fair.
I don't mean this to sound wrong or to imply that maybe you've added some weight, but you look like you're fatter than you used to be.
Well, sometimes that happens.
It's not what you say. All right, Amanda, what's next?
All right, so this is on big dogs. Neither Baylor or KSU is considered a big dog, and neither, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, or Edwards are considered big dogs either. Georgia is a big dog who took Rhett, a big dog, from Notre Dame. Both Oklahoma and Texas A&M are big dogs who are trying to take Bowen, a big dog, from Notre Dame. Alabama is the biggest big dog, trying to take Keeley, a bigger than big dog. Want to play whatever Everybody is calling big boy recruiting. Keep the big dogs you have and go and flip some more big dogs from big dog programs.
I got
That's a record
zero.
for the most amount of big dogs in one.
I
Well done, Amanda.
Thank you. It's great.
I got zero idea.
I have no idea. I mean,
Texas Tech. Texas Tech.
Okay.
You're going Texas Tech. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going Kentucky. It's a Kentucky fan who just they say random nonsensical things all the time.
This is Notre Dame. There was like 4 Notre Dame players mentioned in that message board.
You know, I forgot about Notre Dame.
Yes.
Yeah.
That they're even out there.
Notre Dame.
A lot of people have. All right.
Oh,
So, Coach Lance, what have
Sir.
you got going on? I love this shirt. # Lance Dance. Maybe we can trade. There happens to be a Hooker shirt out there.
Good.
So we can
There's
trade
a Hooker
those.
shirt.
But more importantly, what all of you got going on? Because I hear there are big plans for Coach Lance in the future.
Yeah, we got big things going on, Dave, or Megan. Well, I'm not sure whatever I should call you at this point. I don't know, but I'm excited because we've got maybe some former players I might be hanging out with coming up soon, doing some segments with. They're gonna basically gonna teach them a few things about football, and those will be fun. We've also we're gonna have some press conferences almost every week for the games before or after Tennessee games. I'll probably be at a lot of the games as well, signing autographs, things like that, just normal things.
On the sidelines?
No, they won't let me down there.
Oh.
They won't let me down there.
You're
For some
too
reason.
good.
No,
You're too good.
Yeah. I've got some private security that will also be with me for a part of that. But anyways, we've got videos coming out, so people need to watch. They need to be watching because I don't mean to say I'm the greatest thing on the internet, but I am the greatest thing on the internet. Aside from Off the Hook Sports with Dave Hooker. So you know what? Are you and Hendon related in some way?
Probably some way. Probably. Yeah. We don't look a lot alike. He doesn't look like Megan Rapinoe nor Don Knotts. So there's that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Or Barney Fife.
No.
Or James Woods.
Well, Barney Fife.
Listen,
Barney Fife is Don Knotts.
The young James Woods, I can see it. I can see it.
Hey, yeah, I like that. All right, Coach Lance. So we couldn't find the right song for a music bed we're still working on that for message board bingo.
Y'all are tied on message board bingo.
Oh, okay.
You have one more.
Okay, one more. I was going to give Coach Lance a walk-off music, but that's fine.
All right.
Go ahead. We'll kill the music.
All right, Coach Lance can go on this round first, and if he gets it right, then you lose. Mark my words, Jeremy Pruitt is just waiting for the right moment to drop a MOAB press release about how he was told to turn the ship around any way you have to do it by Fulmer. This will complete the 25-year plan that Alabama has had in place to destroy Fulmer/Tennessee after what he started and alleged of them in the 90s. Think I'm wrong? Ask any diehard Bama fan over the age of 60. On the upside for Tennessee, this will put the final nail in the 20-year coffin of blank athletics at UT by a bunch of idiots who long ago deserved to be shown the door. Just my humble opinion. Coach Lance, what fan base do you think this is from?
Gosh,
it sounds Alabama driven, but I feel like that's too easy. Coach
No,
Lance.
I feel like it's a. I'm gonna go Florida. It's a Florida fan.
I'm gonna go Georgia.
It's Tennessee.
Oh.
It's a Tennessee fan.
Okay, it is Tennessee. Sorry about that, Coach Lance.
We're not very good at this, Dave. I'd like to have another round at a later date.
That will probably be Friday, so we'll talk to you about that. So, Coach Lance, everybody, there's his walk-off music, which is known as lounge music via Restream. Thank you.
You should have to belly dance to this.
Terrible. You first. Now it's time for John Adams. And he's brought to you on this Vol report by Val's Automotive Group and Big Orange Phillies. John Adams visits with us about what potential NCAA punishment that Tennessee might receive. And those that think that John's always negative might be surprised by what the Knoxville News Sentinel columnist has to say here.
I don't think Tennessee fans were so shocked by this. I think the way Tennessee handled it, in particular Chancellor Donde Plowman, she said right off the bat, after UT did its own internal investigation, she pretty much said this program is a disaster. It's a dumpster fire, a train wreck, whatever you want to call it. And she was criticized for that, for coming across that strong about Tennessee's transgressions. But I think what happened here, she was exactly right. The NCAA allegations back that up. But really, I would be shocked if Tennessee got a harsh penalty over this, because Donde Plowman has handled this so well. She cleaned house. She laid everything out for the NCAA. And the NCAA has said, we would have nowhere near this evidence if not for Tennessee. We wouldn't know the serious nature of this. So I think they're going to consider all that. Is the only reason they know this is because Tennessee gave it to them. The Tennessee did all the legwork here. And so I think because of that, and because of the fact that Tennessee, with its attorneys who investigated this, has worked with the NCAA all along and helped shepherd the NCAA through this.
John Adams, remind you that's brought to you by Val's Automotive Group and Big Orange Phillies. Be sure and check out Bassey Lawn and Garden. David Bassey's got you taken care of. Man alive, it's worth the drive. Toro, count on it. We'll talk to you Monday with more Tennessee interviews than you can possibly imagine, because it is media day on Sunday. Hard to believe football season is here. For Amanda LaFratta, I'm Don Knotts. Dave Hooker, Off the Hooks.